Here we have the 2019 Ranch Red from Nalle Winery in Dry Creek Valley in Sonoma, California. This is primarily Zinfandel, but this is a blend. I think a lot of people, when they think about Zinfandel wines, it's often a single varietal. Some of the most esteemed bottlings of Zinfandel end up being blends. This is a blend that also has Carignan and Petite Sirah in it, which is a pretty classic blend, especially for this part of Sonoma County. The Carignan helps add a little fruitiness and earthiness to the Zinfandel's kind of purple, spicy, brambly fruit characteristic. And the Petite Sirah, even in small amounts, really helps amplify the dark hue of the color. Kind of makes the wine a little more black in hue, as opposed to, as mentioned, the really kind of traditional purple color of a straight Zinfandel. And what I love about this wine is, in addition to being a very classic blend from this part of California, this is actually a pretty classic expression of Zinfandel. I like to think about Zinfandel kind of being on a spectrum. On one end of the spectrum, you have these very jammy, concentrated, inky wines that are all fruit and all spice. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have these wines that, while still intense and still with a wonderful, lovely fruit and spice characteristic, tend to be a little bit more driven by the structure, the texture, the physical sensation of the wine in your mouth. What are the tannins doing as opposed to just what the fruit's doing? That's really supported again by those additional varietals that are in this bottling along with the Zinfandel.
Yeah, I love the aromas of black fruits, and just blackberry, black tea.
Zinfandel also, when it's by itself, has a tendency to be higher in alcohol. And while this is definitely not a low alcohol wine, this doesn't have the kind of stewed fruit and kind of super volatile characteristics that extra high alcohol Zinfandel sometimes can display.
So the Knoll family land in the Dry Creek Valley area of Sonoma, California. They have been on this land for 5 generations. They have certified historic 90-year-old classic Zinfandel vines. And when they're growing out of the ground, they are huge and gnarly and gorgeous. Andrew Knoll is the winemaker, and wife April, who is the viticulturist, gave me a tour of their barrel room, which is not that large since their small production, but the wine is aged in French oak in this 100% sustainable above ground building that has a thick roof made of live rosemary, which naturally keeps the resting wines cool. I was amazed at how cool it was inside, and they have zero air conditioning compared to the heat that can go on outside in that area. So they are 100% sustainable.
Vines of that age, in addition to speaking towards the sustainability of the plot of land, the stewardship of this family towards this plot of land, really old vines like this are often associated with more complexity of fruit flavor, as well as more earthy and mineral flavors that you get in the resulting wine. Again, a lot of times when we think Zinfandel, we're thinking about a party wine. We're thinking about something that's really dominated by primarily the fruit flavors, possibly a little spice too, that overall juiciness, and the age of the vines combined with the skill of winemaking combined with the other components, the other varietals in this blend, really make this wine kind of transcend what Zinfandel by itself often is when you see it at the store.
I would bring this one to a friend's house, barbecue, just for dinner, casual dinner. This is what I would bring because there's interesting story, wonderful people, and I think people are going to like it and maybe change their mind about what they thought Zinfandel was.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers.